All right, so here it is, the Bells of Steel belt squat machine. This was delivered probably 3 days ago. I haven't had time to get it taken down to the basement. I've just had a lot of things going on. So here it is. It was UPS delivered, and the box has a little bit of damage to it. We'll get it hauled to the basement. I had to get her vehicle out of the way so I could get this loaded. You guys gonna go with me? Get this beast taken around. Fortunately, I have a walkout basement, so I don't have to try and carry this down the stairs. And I've graduated into my smarter, not harder years, and I got a dolly. All right, now let's go for the small box. Both boxes are in. All right, so you can see I got the two boxes down here. The small box had a little bit of damage to it. The top here was opened up. This cover was laying on the ground. You can see that the box has been taped up, must have ripped, and I don't know if the factory did that or UPS. I assume UPS doesn't rewrap things, but maybe they did do that. So since this was laying out on the ground when I got home, I guess we'll have to check and see if anything else is missing. So let's get these boxes opened up and see what we have in here. This, which seems to be the platform box, was not ripped or anything. It shipped pretty good. Here's some of the bearings for the pivot points. So, all right. Well, we're gonna see if we can find the directions in here and get started on this. So, found the belt. Pin for something, not sure exactly what that's gonna be. The hardware. This looks like some pretty heavy duty hardware. Looks like probably 3/4 bolts. I'm assuming this is also another box of 3/4 bolts. Some of the oh, here's the directions at the bottom. Couple of plates. Doesn't look overly complicated. We'll see if it gives us a tool list. So we have it all loosely bolted together like you normally do with steel. It went together fairly easy. I mean, you can see everything's crooked and loose. I don't have it all tightened down. It seems like a pretty nice unit. I moved over in this corner thinking that was the way I was going to leave the machine, but as you can see, it doesn't fit in the corner quite as well as I thought it was going to. So I had to pull it back out to get it bolted. So I'm gonna go grab some wrenches and get this thing bolted up. All right, so I rounded up some tools to rattle this thing together. I took a break, hang out with my wife and kids before my son goes to work. So we're gonna get this bolted together. So we got it all bolted together. All right, so I probably got a couple hours in it. I actually didn't check the time. I should have. Had I had the correct tools, instead of trying to bolt some of this together with a crescent wrench, it would have went much faster bolting it up, that's for sure. Off camera, I still have a couple bolts I need to get tightened. The crescent wrench doesn't fit that well, and I got to use this big old breaker bar, and I'm not going to do that on the film and look crazy trying to use that thing. It was bad enough having to try and bolt it together with the crescent wrench. But this is a pretty nice unit. There is some scratches in it. That was all scratched up from, I'm assuming, delivery. You know, there's still some, this, you know, a lot of this stuff happened probably, I'm sure, during shipping. So, I mean, you see lots of videos and people getting all weirded out about their piece of equipment getting scratched during delivery. But, I mean, come on. It's going to get scratched up if you use it. So I don't really make that big of a deal out of it. If I get a good price for it, and it's a solid unit, which this seems to be, we're going to put it to the test tomorrow. I don't make a big deal out of it. This will be a nice looking unit. I'm going to take some time and clean up the gym. And then tomorrow we will take this for a ride. I'll find a good spot for it. I think I'm going to put a caddy corner in that corner over there. I think that'd be a good spot for it. It is light enough to slide around on the concrete. Now, if I had it on mats or something, it would probably be kind of difficult. But the way it is, I can push it around okay. So I'm probably just going to push it into that corner. And then if I need to move it to get out the door for some reason, which I normally don't go out that door, I'll be able to do that. So this is it for tonight. Oh, the other thing, the bearings. Now those bearings have some set screws, and I'm going to get everything centered up, and I'm going to set those set screws as needed. And actually those bearings look very similar. Well, I was going to say I think they're the same thing that was on my Titan, but these Titan ones are, I think they are. Actually, yeah, I think they are the same bearing, but I really don't know that for sure. All right, well, hey, you guys have a great night, and we will see you in the morning. All right, so I decided to review the belt squat tonight because I wanted to be able to edit tonight and get this all wrapped up. So I'm going to start with some of the things I like about this. I like the fact that the deck is welded and not pop riveted. I like the fact that it does have the hole here, so that if I do end up getting the arm that angles down, I can get some more depth out of it. Another thing that's kind of neat about this unit is you can take these weight pegs and turn them up so you can stack the weights up, and then you would have less width on the unit if you had a tighter spot. Now, Titan was a belt squat that I did look at getting. Now, some of the reviews on it weren't really that great. People talked about it didn't have the cutout. It talked about the platform was pop riveted, and some of the rivets were coming out. The other thing that I noticed on it that I didn't like, and I don't know if people necessarily complained about it, was it didn't have ball bearings here where the uprights connect to the platform. Something that and I don't know if something that I don't like, but something that I've noticed on it is this thing seems a little wobbly. Would have been nice if they had put some rubber grommets or something underneath it somewhere so that this thing didn't sit perfectly on the ground. Because whether this is made a little cattywampus or it's my concrete, actually I don't think it's my concrete. The guys that poured my floor are extremely good at what they do. And then also when you go to bolt this unit, this front frame onto the platform, I think you go to tighten those bolts up, and it moves that front frame up a little bit so everything doesn't sit exactly solid onto the ground. But I remedied that. I got some pieces of my flooring for my squat rack, which is just some rubber flooring. Cut a couple pieces, put under the front here. That took the wobble out of it. Okay, so now we'll kind of hit the price point. This unit, I think I got it on sale for around $650 shipped. It was supposed to come with a free T-shirt, Bells of Steel, which I have not gotten. And I think the Titan is around $500 or so. But Titan has some good stuff, but you got to be careful what you buy. And I saw the Titan squat rack. The reviews weren't that great. I saw some things in the pictures that I didn't really care for. Pop riveting the deck on didn't seem like a good idea. I wasn't really crazy about the diamond plated deck either on the Titan. Some people might like that. I really didn't. I kind of like the black here. I actually thought it might have a rubber mat on this, but it doesn't. This is just a powder coating, and the powder coating seems to stick pretty well. It's not that slippery. Now these units, I mean, to get a unit like this for $650 is good. I mean, a belt squat, I mean, they can be $1,000 and up, no problem. You get into some of Rogue stuff, they're a couple $1,000s. You probably get into Westside, same thing, a few $1,000s. I did not research to see how much those are, but I know when I'm flipping through the internet looking at equipment, they're $1,000 and up pretty easily. So it was between this Titan, and then there's another outfit. I think he's around $850. I had actually posted to him saying, "Hey, when is your unit going to go on sale?" He said it's not. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to keep looking. So I found this Bells of Steel one, and it seemed like a nice unit, and so far it is a nice unit. I am happy with it. Like I said, it's shipped a little funky, and there's some scratches on it, but, it's going to get scratched up. A lot of people get weirded out about the shipping. Oh, no, it got a scratch in it. I paid for it. It's brand new. It's going to get scratched up. So this is a nice unit. I'm going to do a couple reps with it so you guys can kind of see how it works. So let's get started. All right. So let's do this. So this belt seems of a pretty good quality. Of course, I've never bought one of these belts before, so I guess I probably wouldn't know, but it seems pretty good to me. All right, here we go. As you can see, the plates hit the floor, but I think I'm down to parallel, and I'll know once I look at this video. All right. It was nice and smooth. The bearings did what they're supposed to. Kept it a pretty smooth descent. You have the J-hooks that you can adjust for height. I might mess with those a little bit more. Might mess with the belt a little bit, trying to get that tightened up a little bit so that I don't get quite so close to the floor when I'm in the bottom position. So some things I wanted to talk about with this unit is the fact that I decided to go with a belt squat because to me the leg press and the hack squat machine for starters are pretty big, and they take up a pretty good footprint, and I'm in a little basement gym here. And so I wanted to save some space. The other thing that I liked about the belt squat too is that to me, when you're belt squatting, the representation from the belt squat to the actual squat is going to be represented a little bit better. You've seen everybody at the gym. They go to do a leg press and they look for every weight in the gym, put on the leg press machine, and think they're He-Man. You're not going to do that with this. It is going to be a better representation of the squat. If you get a 400 or 500 pound max on this, that's going to be very representative of your true squat. Now, the exact representation of that, I don't exactly know, but it's going to be better than a leg press. This unit seems to be of good quality. And I'm excited about using it. The band pegs, being able to use some bands during my training is going to be fun. It's going to add some variety, which I'm happy about. It just seems like a really good unit. And once I get my T-shirt Bells of Steel, it'll be even nicer unit. Well, hey guys, I appreciate you taking some time to talk with me tonight. I'm hoping to be able to update you in a few weeks or a month and tell you how it helped my training or didn't help my training. Be able to tell you how it performed over the next few months. But at this point, it seems like a nice unit, and I'm glad I bought it. All right, thanks, guys.